I will do his introduction. Ramon graduated from Oxon Hill High School, very small school. Athletic program, trash. Just gonna be honest with you. They don't play no ball up there. They don't play like we do down here at Woodbridge. He went to Oxon Hill High School. He had the opportunity to go to James Madison University playing football. While he was there, he majored in sports management. I know him very well. He's a personal friend of mine. We've done speaking events similar to this, where we've had an opportunity to speak to kids and young men, you guys' age, and every time he tells his story, I hear something different in his story about some of the things that he's dealt with and the adversity that he's had. So I want you guys to key in on a lot of the same things that Lafayette talked about. You're going to see some of those same things present themselves in Ramon's story, and then some other things that you need to be keyed in on. When I'm sitting in the back, I need you guys to be sitting up. If I see you leaned over, you're going to feel me right back here. Everybody sit up, okay? Give him your undivided attention. Ramon, you got the floor.
So I'm kind of nervous, so just so I feel at home, when I say what's up, guys, just say what's up. That's it. That'll be good for me. So what's up, guys?
What's up?
So how many of y'all plan on being married one day, just by a quick show of hands? Is that even a goal of yours? Some of y'all unsure. So man, marriage for me, like some of y'all probably don't know this, well most of y'all don't. I've been married 8 years. I got a 2-year-old son, right? And marriage is not no like smooth walk in the park, like on a cool sunny day. Like your conditions change in marriage. Sometimes it could be raining, sometimes it could be a blizzard. And God forbid your marriage ends up to a point where it's like a tornado or a hurricane, because then your marriage will not survive. But what I realized is you actually can control the conditions of your marriage. And one of the things I became kind of hip to was I can hear my wife's tone when it's starting to get a little cloudy. And so I realized now I have to learn how to prevent the storm from coming. So we moved into our house about 2 years ago. And one of the things she asked me to do was we turned our spare room into an office. And she kept saying, "Man, I need you to put a bookcase in there for me." So I'm like, okay, cool, I got you. And when I'm saying, okay, cool, I got you, in my mind it's, I'm gonna get around to it. But in her mind it's, he's getting ready to do it ASAP. So weeks, months go by, she keeps telling me, when you gonna put this bookcase in there? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you. Then eventually, her tone changed. And so me, knowing I want to prevent a storm from happening, I go to the store and I start taking pictures of different bookcases. So she picks out the one that she likes, take the box home. And so I go in the office and I lay out all the items and the shelving and the screws and the tools. And I grab the instructions and I started going to reading. And so one by one, I just start building, going step by step, right? And I'm just watching the bookcase come together. Then eventually I get to this one step while I'm building this bookcase. And they're asking me for some pieces. And so I'm picking up all the different pieces and they're not matching. I'm like lifting up shelves, like where are these pieces at? I go back in the box. Then I start tracing my steps. Maybe some screws fell out while I was bringing it upstairs to the office. And what I realized, guys, is there was some pieces missing. And I should have known, because when I bought the box was like a little janky box. It was a box that I clearly was opened already, and somebody retaped it and put it back on the shelf at the store. And so it got to me, and I was like, dang, all this time, right, that I was building this bookcase, I was actually seeing it come together to the point of the final stages. And because some pieces were missing, I wasn't able to finish what I started. So in my mind, I know I got to start from scratch. I got to take this all the way back to the store, get a new one. It just frustrated me. So the perspective I want to focus on right now, guys, is it's nothing worse, man, than when you're building something and you're starting to make progression and you're starting to see it come together and you almost get to the point of completion and you got to start from scratch. So for me, that happened in my life and in my story. But it started when I was a little kid. See, when I was in my mother's womb, I'm about to come into the world. I'm going to have 2 older brothers. I'm going to have a mom and a dad. My mom was in labor for hours. My dad, he was at the house having a party. Eventually, after the party was over, he showed up to his son's arrival. A few years after that, my little sister was born. One weekend, my mother wanted to take us out of town to go visit some relatives. So we go out of town for a few days, and we have a good time. Then we head back home. And on our way back home, as my mom was driving up to the house, she noticed that all our clothes and stuff was laid out in the front yard. So she parked the car, she gets out. To make her way up into her house to try to get in, She put her key into the lock and started turning, but her key doesn't work because the locks have been changed. And attached to the door was this letter. And the letter said, Janet Powell and the kids no longer live here. Here's the crazy thing about the letter though, guys. That letter was not an eviction notice from the landlord because my mother didn't pay the rent. That letter actually came from my father. He had enough. He wanted us out of his life. Therefore, he decided to lock us out the house. And it's because of that, I believe, we grew up struggling. Now, I'm not going to say I had it the worst, because I know I didn't. But I do remember those times trying to take showers, there was no water. Open up the refrigerator, we had no food. Lighting candles around the house when we had no lights. But that's not what really messed me up. What messed me up psychologically, all the way into my adulthood, is I couldn't understand how can a man who's supposed to love me and be there for me, he treated me as if my life did not matter. And so I grew up with these insecurities, guys. I grew up thinking that it was something wrong with me, that I wasn't enough to receive love. And so I wanted love. And when I'm turning on the TV, and what I was exposed to is these rappers, these athletes. These are the people that's getting the praise and the love for the people. So I had it in my mind. If I'm ever going to get the love that I want, if I ever want my problems to go away, I got to become a professional athlete. I'm going to be real with y'all. I wanted to be rich. I still want to be rich. Just growing up in the struggle, not knowing whether or not certain bills are going to be paid. When Christmas time comes along and you're asking for things, and the answer is no, not because you were a bad student. No, not because you was a bad child, but no, simply because you cannot afford it. So I wanted a better life for myself. And so I figured the best chance that I had, according to what I was exposed to, Lafayette mentioned it earlier, all I thought was, I'm an African-American kid. African-Americans, we become professional athletes. So I get to high school, I'm a two-sport athlete. I go to Oxon Hill, which is actually a rival to Eleanor Roosevelt, which is crazy. My man, so I play two sports. I play football and I play basketball. And I remember after my sophomore year, after basketball season, teammates on the football team waiting for me to get back in that weight room and get ready. But my man hit me on the phone. He said, Ramad, I'm getting ready to start this go-go band, bro. Some of y'all familiar with go-go? Go-go? All right, cool. I know y'all from Prince William County. So listen, I'm sleeping on y'all. I'm not saying that. So listen, we're getting ready to start, he's getting ready to start this go-go band. So I'm like, all right, that's what's up. You know, man, you got a friend, he's getting ready to start something. I'm supportive. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing, bro. He was like, nah, Ramad, I want you to be a part of it. And I'm like, that's not my thing. But I had this issue, guys. I had a hard time telling my friends no. Like, I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be that guy. So the thought that I could tell my man no and let him down, it ain't sit right with me. So one of the key elements that I realized, man, when you need to be successful in life is you gotta have priorities. And what my priorities were, they were out of place. I would rather do what my friends wanted me to do than do the things necessary to chase my dream. So instead of me going to football practice every single day after school, I'm going to go-go practice. I skipped that whole off season of workouts. Eventually, some of my friends, they start skipping school. At first, I'm like, nah, I got this weakness, this desire to want to fit in. So eventually, I'm like, I can miss a class or two. And I remember my junior year, we started to get our equipment for the football season. And so my coach, everybody standing in line, we talking trash, wait till I put these pads on. One after another, everybody getting their equipment, gets up to me. My coach said, Ramad, nah, I need you to stand to the side. So I stand to the side. I watched everybody else get their equipment. That's when my coach looked at me, he told me, he said, nah, you're not playing football because you ain't get the grades. Now, that's not a rocket science question. But to somebody in the room who knows the answer, what do you think I did to put myself in that situation? Skipping school. Because here's the reality, guys. If you're not going to class, if you're not studying, you don't even give yourself a chance to have success academically.